You know, I was always amazed by those people who were searchers. You know, the people that were looking for things. In my early years, I met all these people that were looking for things. There was nothing to find. I mean, there was nothing to find. It is not about that. You do not look for the experience. You are made for it. You are made for it. What it means to surrender to what it is to just be you. You see, I can tell you all these incredible things. You know, your type and your variable and your profile and your cross and your this and your that. It's a fucking piece of paper. It's not life. It's just paper. The thing to understand about what it is to live this life and to live this life with your mind free is that you have to free it from controlling you. You know, when I started, I thought, okay, I'm going to tell them all the good things. You know, they're so messed up, I might as well tell them how terrific they can be. You could be this, you could be that, you could be the other thing, you know, and they look at me like sheep in a meadow. So far away from any possibility for them that it was unbelievable. And then I would tell them about their not self. You know, I would tell them about how cruel it was to them, what it was doing to them, you know, and they'd start suffering, right? Oh, yeah, I know, it's always been. Yeah, I know, I wish I could. Oh, I know, right, you know, and they'd cry and they'd burble and they'd do all their stuff. And at the end of it, they'd say to me, what should I do? I had to stop doing readings, you know, I would have killed people. I mean, what do you mean, what should you do? I already told you what you are. Live it. It's not complex. For us, there is only one liberation. There is only one that is possible. When we live what we see in our chart. And what I mean by that is, we are a binary consciousness. We are a binary consciousness. And as a binary consciousness, we're here to understand that each level of our consciousness, they have responsibilities, and that it is our role simply not to interfere. Not to interfere. And it's coming to an end, and we're about to enter into a deeply, deeply individual age. When this knowledge was given to me, it was given to me not for you. You're a pain in the neck. You were born conditioned. It's a real drag to decondition you. It takes a lot of time, a lot of effort. This knowledge is for babies. It's for children coming into the world. It's for beings that have awareness as a guide so that they can, you know, live the true nine-centered life. From the moment this knowledge came into the world, all I've had to deal with is the sickness of homogenization. Because it's a sickness. And you see, I'm no Messiah. I know the movie. You can't save the world. There's no such thing as saving the world. The most you can save is 4% of 4%. It's about 35 million out of 7 billion. You have to be lucky. It has to be your karma. But when you're standing in the gateway, if you don't take the journey, you're never going to get another chance. This is it. You simply have to understand how to take advantage of your mechanics. You don't have to study this. You know, I've never cared about that. I always knew that there would be those that would be fascinated with the knowledge and go deep enough and want to share it with others. But for the vast majority of beings, it's not the point. The point is to get the message and to experiment with it. That's the whole point. You can't do anything until you embrace this at the deepest form level, because that's what it is about. I am tired now of this 20 plus years of pounding on the form principle, because in fact, I was given the ability to bring people to awareness. I'm still dealing with them. All right, look, left foot, right foot, you know? You know, I told you the other night, please understand, these elements in us, the crystals of consciousness, they're dark matter. They're not atomic. They're not atomic. The very thing that is the essence of you, The thing that is here to watch the movie is not this. It's not this. It's not this. Until you can let go of this possessiveness, mine, 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 it's not at all. And you see, it's not about spirituality or mysticism. It's about understanding the mechanics we got dropped in here. It's not about whether you're going to be happy or not. I hate that shit, you know? I love entertainment. It is entertaining, all of this. Entertainment can be very sad. It can be deeply joyous. But it's incredibly stimulating. It's incredibly exciting. It is the vitality of existence itself. It's the beauty of all this. So long, we have ignored the beauty. We leave it to poets. But we are all the poetry. It is our beauty that is here to be expressed. We're not here to recite by rote the poetry of the other. We're here to offer ours. You see, I have not lost my love for what it is to be a nine-centered being. I look at them and I see in them what the end always brings. It brings the potential of glory. You know, this is the end of the story. You know, the tree of knowledge. You know, all that fruit. We've been eating all that fruit faster and faster and faster. We're in this cycle that is closing, in which all of these answers are percolating all over. We're under enormous pressure to get to inner truth. This is our time. And you see, the only way that this moves is through you. It's not me. It is through you, each of you, uniquely, in your own way. It's only then that the consciousness field begins to change. It's only then that your relationships with the other begins to change. It's only then that the wisdom that is there in you can emerge. See, I begin and end always with the same thing. I am here to offer you the opportunity to love yourself. To love yourself. It is such a beautiful thing to discover what it means truly to be you. The richness of it, the depth of it, how extraordinary it is in its unique expression. How different and precious it is. It is a treasure. And these treasures are buried and hidden everywhere. And it's time to open them up. Do you smell it? Death is in the air. No, really. You can smell it. Death is in the air. Neptune. Neptune. Credible force. 1846. We saw Neptune for the first time, consciously. It was in the 30th gate. It was in the second line. It was in the third color. It was in the human experiential way. It emerged into our consciousness in the 30th gate, the gate of the fates. Tonight, we are consciously here celebrating the close of Neptune's first conscious cycle. This is really an extraordinary thing. It is tonight that the human experiential way, as it has always been known, as it has been known from the beginning of the cross-of-planning era, going back to 1615, that the human experiential way is dissolving right now. Now. That's the seven-centered way of life is dissolving now. Tomorrow, truly, you will wake up to a new way. Oh, it's not like you see it right away, you know? But I can see it. And I can see where it leads. This experiential way that we have all been caught up in, the way of mind, the way of ego, the way of the trip, the strategic way, the climbing the mountain, the ruling the other, the winners, the losers. This is coming to an end. Now, here. It's what I love about the forces. You know, they're alive in us. Neptune is alive in you. It's alive here in this room. It is saying something deeply, deeply, deeply profound to us. That the way that you have always expected, the human experiential way, goes all the way to this expectation in the 35th gate that says, this is the way, this is the way. It's over. There is no way. There is no human experiential way after today. There's a nine-centered way. But the old experiential way and all of its values, they are all dissolving. All of them. All of them. Most human beings cannot see this. Will not understand it until the world around them begins to dissolve. In the beginning, there was no intent. Oh, I know this in the physics. I know it so profoundly, but that's not the point. It's about understanding something. If there is no intent, there are no rules. There are no rules. There is no answer. There is no great thing at the other end somehow. That there is no purpose. Oh, you have been chained by this all your life. Changed by this assumption that you were made in something's image. I am not a homogenized being. I am not made in God's image. I'm not a clone. I am me. I alone. It. I was here before gods. I was here before God. I was here before anything. And so are you. And so are you. See, outer authority is outer authority. What are you going to do with uniqueness? How are you going to judge uniqueness? You're not unique enough, dear. What are you going to do? How do you measure? You don't. Unique is unique is unique is unique. Why do you think I've gone through 23 years of pointing out the detail of all this shit? So that you will finally get to the point of understanding, my goodness, I am different than somebody else. You know, if you go to a geneticist, the easiest thing they can do is tell you how you're like everybody else. If you go to a priest, they'll do the same thing. We're about, wow, are you ever different from me? And thank God. You know, it's like, woo, I don't want to be you. You know, you be you. It's okay. But gee, nice to be able to see a version like you. I don't want to see 75 of the same version. Because that's what it is. It's a real screwing. You miss the joy of the whole ride. Because you think there's some kind of purpose in this thing, right? Oh, I gotta find my purpose. It's wonderful in human design. You say that your profile carries your purpose. Everybody thinks that's the purpose. That's not the purpose. That's how you get into the costume for the purpose to, pretend to be there. It's not the purpose. It's just a mode, a costume. You're only here to be here. Why do you need a reason? You think you're here to be happy? Are you crazy? You think you can be in the Maya and be happy all the time? Are you nuts? The only people that can be happy in the Maya all the time are lobotomized. So if you want to sit and drool for the rest of your life, we can say that you're happy. It's not about being sad either. It doesn't matter what the hell it is. If you're here and you're aware, because if you're here and you're aware, you get your unique cognitive experience. And that's a gem. That's a treasure for somebody else. It's a gift. It's an offering in communion with the other. Aren't you sick and tired of the same old boring conversations? Aren't you sick and tired fighting over the details of this or that? It's not the point. You don't have to do anything. Honestly, you don't have to do anything. This is not about doing. It's not about making anything happen. Everything happens. It's the great irony. It's the great joke about life. You don't have to be concerned about your life. You have to see it. You have to be in it. You have to be alive. You have to be conscious. You have to be present. That's what matters. It's the only thing that matters. And you see, if there's anything inside of you that thinks that there's something else that matters, you just don't get there. You don't. You know, I know the seduction of this kind of process. So many people with so much knowledge, people who are interested in the knowledge, this exchange that takes place in this process. But you have to be so careful. You know, knowledge is not power. It's not. It's just stuff. It's what happens to you when the stuff goes inside. You see, the future is coming fast. And what you think you are is no longer going to matter. Because it's not the point. And all of this, I have to, because there are rules. There are rules that say that I can only do this. There are rules that say that I can only be this. There are rules that say that here are the limits. Rules, 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 rules. There are no rules. They're only the illusion of them in the Maya. You stick your head through the sky and you'll see that there are no rules. It's all a trick. It's all a trick to keep you obedient. It's all a trick to keep you locked into the most mundane level of existence. Don't fall into such a trap. You're here to find the glory of what it is to be you. To be you. It doesn't matter what it looks like when you see anybody else. It doesn't matter where they're at. It matters where you're at. It's just you. See, the only thing that's holy on this plane is uniqueness. There isn't anything else that is holy, because it is the only thing that is pure. You may not agree with it. You may not like it. So what? We all have a right to express our unique divinity. It's what it's about. It's what outer authority is. Outer authority is saying, I am the only example. Here is what I see. Here is what I know. Here is what I understand. And for no reason, after all. It's not like you have to do anything with anybody else's outer authority other than enjoy the entertainment. Human design shows you it is what it is. You're not going to change that. So surrender. Surrender. You know, it's not about, okay, you're going to find out all the details, you know, this thing and that thing. Just be here. But I want you to understand, you being you is not for anybody. It's for you. I mean, you can be you in a cave for the rest of your life and you're going to feel terrific, you know? It's not like you have to have somebody there saying, oh my goodness, you're you. Really? I knew that already. Thank you very much. Are you you? You see, this is what we're here to fulfill. What do you think uniqueness is? If you're unique, God could not have made you and can't be like you. I mean, understand, uniqueness. Uniqueness is the most extraordinary thing that there is. It is perfection. The most fantastic thing about the revealed knowledge of the nine-centered being is it gives you a way to get there. It does. It gives you a way in which you can find that power within yourself to be your own God, to be your own authority. Because this is where your beauty is. This is where your richness is. This is where your wonder is. I am so fucking tired of cookie cutter people. Same damn stem, say the same thing, give off the same vibration, know the same shit. It's not what we're here for. We're not sheep. And everybody's afraid to do anything on their own. Oh, you think I can? You're never going to hear me say that. You see, this is what sheep are all about. It's what sheep are all about. You know, they're stupid creatures, eh? They're pretty, but they're stupid. You meet them in the field and they don't know what to do. Yeah? You can't afford to live like that. To wait for some shepherd to come along and tell you the barn's over there, you idiot. You know, because that's what the shepherd does, right? You know, comes into the flock and say, hey, stupid, it's over there, okay? Oh, this way. Beep, 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 beep. You don't want to live like that. Honestly, you don't. And if you do, you're really sick. You know? Being hurtled off in the same barn with everybody else, you know? You see, when I first came into contact with the New Age, and I heard all this kind of schmaltzy, angel, divinity, blah, blah, blah stuff, it really nauseated me. I mean, it just nauseated me because I'm such a, you know, anti-spiritual manifester. And over the period of 23 years, unfortunately, I see everybody's divinity, which I think is a terrible joke. And of course, it's a black joke, because I see all this divinity and I see it under layers and layers of warm, hot dog shit. You know, it's just packed underneath something. You know, and it's hard to really enjoy divinity when it smells so bad. You know? And of course, most of those people are waiting for God to clean up the shit.